I had my return ticket back to India, but then that Corona thing happened, so I couldn't go back because all the borders and everything was closed from Australia and from England side or India side, obviously. So I started playing. There was no cricket for the first 3 4 months, but we were lucky. We were in Queensland. They started playing in August end, starting of September. So then I contacted Northern Suburbs. One of my friends was already playing there, so uh, he took me to the Northern Suburbs, and we started playing there.
Hello everyone, welcome to In the Corner, the place where every cricketer wants to be. I'm your host Callum Dunk, and thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Please ensure that you follow, like and subscribe to our social media platforms for more updates about the cricket that's going on around the world, as well as our latest episodes on YouTube, Facebook and Spotify. Hello everyone, welcome to In the Corner, the place where every cricketer wants to be. I'm your host Callum Dunk, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about a cricketer who's come from India to set the BBL alight. Nikhil Chaudhary, welcome to In the Corner. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on the podcast, man. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, super keen to have you on the podcast, Nikhil. Your story is so fascinating, and I'm really happy that we get to share this with all of our viewers at home. Before we get started, we do want to open with our favourite segment, which is called Legends and Sledges. So, Nikhil, is there been a time where you've sledged an opponent or someone has sledged you, or has there been a teammate who's been in the field to deliver the killer blow? Is there anything funny that you could share with us to open the show?
I think it happened recently in the Brisbane Heats game against Johnson. So I stepped out against him on the first ball, and I smashed him over the mid off. So he came up to me pretty much fiery, saying, "Don't step out next time." I was pretty pumped up after that because I wanted that fire from the opponent, because we were in a very bad situation that time. We were like around 4 for 20, and that really pumped me up. And when he told me not to step out next time, I was like, I'm gonna do that again. And you can't do much and just sitting around there smashing me all over. And that was pretty funny and fiery at the same time. And then I knew next ball was gonna be bouncer. So he tried bowling me two bounces, and then the no ball. And so he already bowled me two bounces, and he couldn't bowl any more bounces. I know it's going to be uppish delivery. So I stepped out again. I smashed him over mid on, and I showed him when I smashed that four over the mid on that I told you I'm gonna smash you again. So yeah, that was pretty funny, and that was fun too. And I met him after the game. He was very nice to me, and that was just after 2 days of after he got $1 million checkout from IPL. So yeah, he's such a nice bloke. That was totally different to what he's outside the game. He came up to me saying, "You were playing on the different wicket, mate." He was smashing everyone. So yeah, that was a good contest between him and me in that game.
No, it's great to hear about those kinds of rivalries on the field and then off the field, being able to talk and have a chat. But Nikhil, you've had an incredible, I suppose, 6 months in particular. You've had your first season with the Hobart Hurricanes, and you've just signed a 3-year extension with the Hobart Hurricanes. So congratulations. What does this contract extension mean to you?
Thank you for the congratulations, mate. So when I started playing in Australia 3 and 4 years ago, when I moved to Australia, I was already playing domestic cricket back in India. I was already uh, playing for my state team in the domestic Ranji Trophy and T20 comps. But moving to Australia after that was uh, was a big plan, because when you're already playing domestic cricket back in India, and suddenly moving to a different country, it's not that easier. So my first aim after moving was to grab a big bash deal, and then when it finally happened this year, last year, uh, in September, I reckon that was the biggest moment for me. Uh, getting a call from my manager saying Hobart Hurricanes has signed you. And when I went there for the Big Bash, no one really made me felt like I'm here for the first time. All the team players and all the team management, they were so nice to me, and really make me felt like I've been here for the last couple of years. And I reckon that that's the biggest thing uh, you want from a team perspective as a player, so that you can feel even more comfortable playing your games. And I wasn't even thinking about playing any games because our team is fully packed. Like if you see on paper, Hobart Hurricanes is fully packed. All the fastball, all the spinners, all the batsmen. Half of our players are already playing for Australia, like in the current team. So I was more happy about being around them rather than playing for the team. But when I finally got the opportunity in the second game against Perth, and that was their first home game for Perth Scorchers, and so all the fans and team was pretty pumped up. There were like around 30,000 people in that game, and I didn't even knew if I'm gonna play in that game until 1 hour before the game. So when Jeff told me that Avady's got some uh, problem with his back because of the traveling. So yeah, it was a nice moment getting a cap just in my second game as a Big Bash signing, and I performed pretty good. I wasn't satisfied after I got out because I could have done more for the team, but I was happy I could do something for the team in that game, and we were already uh, 4 or 5 of 30 runs, and then I got the platform for the team. Yeah, and then obviously after all that, all the tournament, all the games and stuff, we did pretty good. We could have done better, but yeah, this new re-signing for Hobart Hurricanes again for next 3 years, I'm really excited for it, and I really wanted to go back to Hobart Hurricanes because of the team management and team players. They've been so welcoming to me last Big Bash. So yeah, man, pretty excited for the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's fantastic, Nikhil, and it's a well-deserved deal for you. I'm sure there would have been other BBL clubs, coming and throwing offers at you, but I think it's fantastic that you've been able to stay loyal to the Hobart Hurricanes. They've given you your first opportunity, so congratulations, mate, and we obviously wish you all success in future seasons, but just not against the Adelaide Strikers.
I didn't have the best of the starts against Adelaide Strikers, to be honest. I'm the I'm the first person in the Big Bash to get out on 0 without even playing a ball. So yeah,
Yes,
but I will definitely smash them next year. I'm gonna have my redemption next year.
I hope to see it. Hope to see it, mate. Nikhil, your story, as I've said at the top of the show, is just so fascinating. You've come from India and you came to visit family on a holiday, and then you ended up, I suppose, being stuck here with COVID. And we've seen COVID take away a lot of opportunities for people. But I suppose yours is one of the most positive stories because you've been able to make the best out of a potentially bad situation. Would you be able to tell us a bit more about your experience coming to Australia, and I suppose how you've been able to ingrain yourself in the Australian culture and, more importantly, in the Australian cricketing culture?
Oh yeah, man, it's been such a roller coaster for me from last 4 years. When I moved here, it was 2020 March. I finished my Ranji Trophy season back in India. All the domestic season was finished, so I plan to visit my uncle in Townsville. So yeah, just here for maybe I had my return ticket back to India, but then the Corona thing happened, so I couldn't go back because all the borders and everything was closed from Australia and from England side or India side, obviously. So I started playing. There was no cricket for the first 3 4 months, but we were lucky. We were in Queensland. They started playing in August end, starting of September. So then I contacted Northern Suburbs. One of my friends was already playing there, so uh, he took me to the northern suburbs, and we started playing there. No one really knows that, but even when I came here, I was active domestic player in India, but I still started playing uh, third grade from northern suburbs. No one knows that. Everyone thinks I've been just playing the first grade from last 3 years, but I really started from third grade. And then just after 2 games, I played the second grade, and just after a couple games, I was in the first grade side, because I never really told anyone that I'm a domestic player back in India. If I could have told that, I would have played first grade from the first game, or I could have just gone in any of the other clubs. But that was my main focus, without even thinking about what I've been playing in the past. That doesn't matter, because I'm into new culture, and to get into the new culture, you can't just tell someone that you're already playing domestic in India, so you got to start with first grade. So yeah, that was a good uh, story for me, from coming all the way from India, playing the biggest levels in India, but still starting from third grade. Even my friends told me that you should have told them that you're a domestic player. And I was like, if I'm good enough, I'll play. Like, I don't have to tell anyone. So uh, yeah, and then I was working at a Mexican restaurant side by side for a month. Not even for a month, I reckon a couple of weeks. And then I cut my index finger, uh, and I told my mom about it, and she was very furious about it. That you don't have to do it. Why you're going to the workplace where it's not suitable for you? So I stopped working there, and then my friend found me a Australia Post job, which I've been doing from last 2 years before signing the contract for Hurricanes. And yeah, it's been such a good story. You have to go through that time to get on to where I'm right now. So I'm happy I went through the struggle, because I'm more grateful now, being all through that struggle. And when I finally got it, I'm very grateful for it, and I hope uh, I'll achieve more opportunities, and more biggest level in Australia, by just working hard and doing all the positive things.
Looking for the ultimate teamwear solutions for your sports club? Look no further than Macron Adelaide. Their extensive range includes a wide variety of jerseys for various sports, including soccer, AFL, volleyball, baseball, basketball, hockey, athletics, netball, rugby, and cricket, of course. Whether you opt for a custom design or choose something from their catalogue, you can trust the quality in their products. At Macron Adelaide, they pride themselves on providing top-notch teamwear solutions for clubs of all kinds. Visit them today and find out why they're the go-to brand for sports teams around the country and around the world. Macron Adelaide, for clubs that mean business. We've been talking a lot about resilience with every cricketer that we've had on the show so far. It's just such an integral part of the game now, and with schedules being so jam-packed, people's mental health is taking such a big toll for these elite athletes, which you are. And to hear about your setbacks and your struggles, but how you've been able to thrive and come back stronger is really exciting. I just want to touch on growing up in India. I've personally been to India myself a couple of times. I was lucky enough to do my placement in a school in Mumbai. I was lucky enough to go on a tour with the Darren Lehman Cricket Academy to Delhi. For those who haven't travelled to India, what's it like growing up in India? And secondly, what's it like playing cricket growing up in India?
It's totally different to Australian culture, obviously. Uh, Normally, all the kids try to move out of their family and parents' house after they are 16, 17, 18, whatever age they are. But that's not this same thing in India. Uh, and you don't have to work all this time. Uh, like how Australian culture is totally different. Kids are working here at the same time they have to pay their bills, so that's why they're working. They're studying at the same time. They are going for 2 jobs a day, 3 jobs a day. So that's not in India. India is totally different. You stay with your parents until whenever you want to be. You can just study or you can just play, but you don't have to work every day to pay the bills because your parents are doing that for you. So yeah, that's pretty normal in India not to work and still stay with your family because you are used to getting pampered and spoiled by your parents. Even if you're not rich or you're just a middle class family, you still get a lot of like pampering from your parents. So yeah, that's totally different to India in Australia, and that was a big part for me to come into the Australian culture and try that because totally different to India. You don't work there to pay your bills, but at the same time, when you're here, you have to pay your own bills. You have to work different shifts, different works. So yeah, that's the big difference between the cultures. And then obviously cricket. Cricket is very different, mate. Normally here, all the kids practice what 2 days or 3 days at most. That too in the club. In India, people are crazy, man. They even won't go to school just to practice at their academies from morning 7 a.m. to they'll stay at the ground for like whole day, just practicing every day for 5 6 hours and not going to school or doing anything else. So yeah, that's a big thing in India. Cricket is like a religion there in India, and that's why. Uh, Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma, they have such a big fan base there because they feel like they are all the people feel like they're their gods because cricket is a religion there. So that's a different culture too. Whereas Australia, everyone's very low key. You don't get much attention from. You get the attention from fans when you're playing in the stadiums and stuff, but when you're just having your own private life, they don't really bother you a lot.
I remember when I was in India, 2017, myself and a couple other guys that I was with from university, we went to Central Maiden, which is a big ground in Mumbai and in
Yeah.
Thane, and there would have been at least 450 kids on this one oval. There was 12 nets. People get playing like little games of cricket and properly trying to whack the hell out of the ball as well. So you were fearing for your safety. You weren't sure which angle the ball was coming from. So I'm sure that's replicated all around India. Nikhil, the Ranji Trophy is a competition that we don't necessarily hear a lot about in Australia. Would you be able to tell us about some of your experiences playing in the Ranji Trophy and I suppose some of the players that you've been able to rub shoulders with while playing in the competition?
Yeah, Ranji Trophy is the biggest level of Indian domestic cricket, obviously, just like our Shield cricket. So when I debuted in the T20 comp for my state team, my captain was Harbhajan Singh and vice captain was Yuvraj Singh, and it couldn't be better debut than playing with such a big stars of world cricket. They dominated world cricket when they were playing before retiring, and then eventually I was going through one days, test matches, Ranji Trophy, and T20s. Uh, when I moved here before that, our team was, I reckon, one of the best T20 teams in the domestic circuit there because we had all except me, all the 10 players, other 10 players were already playing for IPL franchises, and it consists of Shubman Gill, Arshdeep Singh, Abhishek Sharma, uh, Harpreet Brad, Simran Singh, like all the big stars who are doing so good in the IPL these days. So yeah, that was one of my I reckon biggest thing when I was in India. I did play for my state team in Ranji Trophy, and I reckon that's a very big uh, big thing in India when you're playing for a Ranji Trophy team. And I'm happy I played for my state team, but that's in past now. But I still talk to a couple guys who are my good friends. We keep talking about cricket and personal life. Arshdeep playing for India from last 3 4 years now. He's and Harpreet Brad, he plays for Kingsland, Punjab. So yeah, there are some still good friends. We talk to each other every day, and uh, yeah, that's it, man.
No, that's fantastic. I couldn't imagine being in the same change room as Yuvraj Singh and Harbhajan Singh as well, two absolute stars of Indian cricket. Nikhil, just wanted to ask you about, you've played Big Bash now for the Hurricanes. You've signed an extension with the Hurricanes. What is your future cricketing goals in Australia? I assume you have desires to play List A and first class cricket here in Australia, and obviously sign a contract with a state team.
Oh yeah, I would love to have the contract with the state team because we want to show what kind of talent and caliber I got. It's not just T20. I reckon I'm a kind of player. Uh, I can play any form of cricket. I've been playing for last 10, 12 years now. Very competitive cricket. So that would be great if I can have the state contract and I can show what kind of player I am. And obviously, at the same time, when you're performing in Big Bash, you get different opportunities from different franchises around the world, and I'm happy people have been talking about me for them. So yeah, my first aim right now is to play as much cricket in Australia as I can. That includes Big Bash and List A cricket, so I can show the selectors and all the legends of cricket who played for Australia that what kind of talent I got, what kind of caliber I got, and obviously all the real fans who have been watching cricket from last 50, 100 years, all the real fans, they really invest their time in the domestic cricket a lot because that's where you become better than everyone else. And then when there will be no cricket of List A and Big Bash, I would love to go to different countries for different franchises.
Yeah, that's fantastic, mate. And we've seen now with the introduction of more T20 leagues, there is those opportunities available. I'm sure throughout the year you'll be able to venture around the globe playing cricket, and I certainly hope that are able to get a state contract. Ideally, in South Australia, we need some batsmen over here. So hopefully, Dizzy's in contact with you at some point. But Nikhil, I just want to circle back to you playing Big Bash. How have you actually found the experience of playing Big Bash itself? How have you gone with, I suppose, the extra attention that you're getting? I've seen you a lot on social media, which is fantastic. And you're really growing a profile for yourself. How have you handled all of that in your first season? And are there any particular memories that really stand out for you?
When I got the contract, I was about to cry, to be honest, because being been here for last 4 years and no one really was recognizing me except saying, "Oh, he's such a great player." But just listening to people words of saying, "Oh, he's such a great T20 player," and not getting into any teams make you very really very sad. So every year I used to play all my club games, all the T20 games. I used to perform so good, but I couldn't get into any of the teams until uh, until James Hopes really took my name to Hobart. For he's been talking to them from last 2 years about me, and eventually they were looking at my all my T20 games, uh, and I got the contract after the Gold Coast game. We were playing semi-final against them, and I smashed around, I reckon, 70 odd of 29 deliveries, and we won that game semi-final. But the next day, uh, my manager called me saying, "You got the contract." So that was the I reckon that was the biggest thing in my life till now because uh, I had nobody here. I hadn't had my family here. I was by myself. I literally did everything on my own from last 4 years. So that was the biggest thing of hearing that you got the contract in the Big Bash. And eventually, after I played my first game, I performed well, and there's been a big support from Indian community around here because obviously I'm the only Indian born player playing this season, uh, and second Indian born in 13 years of Big Bash. So yeah, there's been a huge uh, Indian community behind me, and they have been praising me for everything I'm doing on the social media, in person. Even now, when I go out, they whenever they see me, they come up to me asking for a photo or just talking to me. So that's been like you can't think of these things. Like if you ask me what I was thinking 6 months ago, I would be like, uh, I don't even know if I'm gonna go through this season. And then eventually get the contract. You play in it, you perform in it. All the people started talking about it. So yeah, man, that the this last 3 months been very unreal, I would say. Uh, I could have thought about being playing in Big Bash, but I couldn't have thought about getting so much name around Australia. Not even just from Indian community, all the Australian community too. They have been loving me. There was a story in the Melbourne Renegades game. That was my fourth game of the. That was fourth game for the Hobart Hurricanes, but that was my third game for this season. Uh, we we finished the game. We won that game in Melbourne Renegades. So there was a family, Australian family. They are from Canberra, but they used to live in Tassie. So that was the Christmas time. So they went back from Tassie to Canberra just for the Christmas and New Year. And between that period, we were playing Melbourne Renegades. So they drove from Canberra to Melbourne all the way, and that was a night game. So they had to come to the night game at which starts at 7 p.m. So they drove all the way from Canberra to sorry to Melbourne just to see me play. And I got to know that after the game, like driving all the way for 6 to 7 hours, I reckon it is, to Melbourne just to see me play, and they didn't even stayed there in Melbourne for the night. They were driving back to Canberra, and match finishes around 10, 10, 11, and they were waiting till 11, I reckon 11, 11:30, just to get my autograph and picture. And that made me like, I would I would about to like cry listening to them that they drove all the way from Canberra just to see me play and get the autograph and pictures because their kids love me. So these are kind of stories which humbles you, and at the same time which makes you very grateful, and you just keep growing from here. That these are the people who makes you hard work even more for the future. So you don't have to stop it just here. Just keep working hard, and yeah, man, I'm very grateful for all the opportunities I got in this big batch.
That's an unbelievable story, and uh, that's absolutely fantastic for you to experience, Nikhil. Before we finish up, what can we expect from you, I suppose, in the next 12 to 24 months? Obviously, you're going to be back in the BBL next year playing for Hobart. But what can we expect to see Nikhil doing in 12 months' time?
I reckon you'll be seeing me a lot in one of the state colors next season, and obviously going to different franchises. But this last season of Big Bash, I've learned so much from the big players who have been performing at the biggest level of cricket, especially Glenn Maxwell, Stoinis, a couple of my teammates, Benny McDermott, uh, Tim David, Matthew Wade. So I'm trying to get their small things of betting, so I can get into my betting because obviously as a cricketer you should just keep growing and keep learning. So I reckon you will see a different Nikki next season, who will be smashing a lot at the end overs and at the starting of the game too. I'm trying to create new shots and new inventions in my betting, and at the same time in my bowling too. So I hope I keep working hard, and we get the gold next season. That's my biggest aim, to get uh, Hobart Hurricanes to win this comp, and I reckon we have the best team on papers. We've been just a bit of unlucky this season because of rain and uh, too much traveling at the same time for like a straight 5 games. We were away from home, traveling a lot, and so I reckon uh, next season we're gonna work more harder and get Hobart Hurricanes their first Big Bash Champions Trophy.
Well, Nikhil, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast today. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to your story, your challenges, your successes. I certainly think that you are a very special talent, mate, and certainly hope to see you for many summers to come, and potentially playing in a lot more competitions around the world, and really making a name for yourself. So thank you so much for your time, and we greatly appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Nikhil. Cheers for watching at home. Please ensure that you're following In the Coordinate on all of your social media pages, and we'll see you on our next episode. Cheers.